Many dog owners eventually experience a moment when their dog suddenly seems to stop listening. A dog that once responded quickly may begin reacting more slowly to commands. This change can feel confusing and sometimes frustrating. From a dog psychology perspective, dogs rarely stop responding without reason. Their behavior usually reflects how they interpret the signals around them. Understanding those signals often explains the change. Dogs constantly observe their environment to decide how to behave. They rely heavily on patterns that help them predict what will happen next. When those patterns remain stable, dogs respond confidently. Clear communication makes decisions easy for dogs. When commands are predictable, dogs understand what is expected of them. Predictability creates confidence. When signals become inconsistent, dogs often hesitate. Hesitation may look like disobedience to human observers. In reality, the dog may simply be evaluating the situation. Dogs depend strongly on patterns to interpret commands. Consistency allows them to understand cause and effect. Without that consistency, their responses become slower. If a command sometimes matters and sometimes does not, the dog receives mixed information. Mixed signals create uncertainty. Uncertainty naturally leads to hesitation. Dogs are not naturally rebellious animals. Most behavior changes reflect interpretation rather than intention. They are trying to understand the rules of the environment. Dogs learn through repeated experience. Each interaction teaches them something about how the world works. Patterns shape their expectations. When a command always produces the same outcome, learning happens quickly. Consistent feedback strengthens understanding. Dogs become confident in their response. When outcomes vary unpredictably, the dog becomes uncertain. Uncertainty causes the dog to observe before acting. Observation slows the response. Dogs also interpret emotional signals from the person giving the command. Tone of voice and body posture influence their understanding. Even subtle changes can alter their response. A calm and confident signal encourages cooperation. Dogs respond best to clarity. Clear signals make behavior easier. An uncertain or distracted signal may cause hesitation. Dogs are highly sensitive to emotional tone. They respond to emotional stability. Dogs evolved alongside humans for thousands of years. During this time, they developed remarkable sensitivity to body language. This ability helps them read human intentions. Because of this sensitivity, dogs often notice small changes that humans overlook. A slight shift in posture can influence their interpretation. These details matter to dogs. If posture or tone suddenly changes, the dog may pause. The pause allows them to evaluate the signal. Evaluation helps avoid mistakes. What appears like stubbornness may simply be careful observation. Dogs are interpreting the situation before acting. Their behavior reflects thoughtful evaluation. Understanding this perspective helps explain many obedience problems. Dogs respond to communication more than authority. Clarity is more powerful than control. Dogs constantly monitor patterns in their environment. Patterns help them predict what will happen next. Prediction helps them feel secure. When daily routines change, dogs notice quickly. Routine provides psychological stability. Stability encourages cooperation. If routines become unpredictable, dogs observe more carefully. Increased observation may appear as hesitation. The dog is trying to understand the new pattern. Dogs also respond to distractions within the environment. New smells, movement, or sounds may capture attention. Curiosity is part of canine instinct. Attention naturally shifts toward interesting stimuli. Commands may temporarily become secondary. This is normal behavior. Dogs evolved as animals that constantly monitor their surroundings. Awareness helps them remain safe. Their instincts encourage observation. When something interesting appears, the dog may investigate first. Investigation satisfies curiosity. Curiosity often overrides commands briefly. Training environments often feel controlled and predictable. Real environments introduce many distractions. Dogs must learn to respond in both. This learning requires repetition and patience. Repetition helps dogs recognize commands even with distractions. Consistency strengthens reliability. Another important factor involves the dog's relationship with its owner. Dogs respond most strongly to people they trust. Trust shapes cooperation. Trust develops through consistent interaction. Consistency creates emotional stability. Stable relationships encourage obedience. When the relationship feels secure, dogs respond more readily. Security reduces hesitation. Confidence improves responsiveness. If emotional signals become inconsistent, dogs observe more carefully. Observation slows their response. They are interpreting the situation. Dogs constantly evaluate social signals within relationships. Their behavior reflects these interpretations. Social awareness shapes their decisions. Learn and trust work together to influence obedience. Both elements contribute to reliable behavior. Strong relationships support cooperation. Dogs also pass through natural learning phases as they mature. Young dogs often become more curious during development. Curiosity sometimes overrides commands. This phase is normal in canine development. Many dogs temporarily appear less responsive. Learning stabilizes over time. With consistent communication, dogs regain reliability. Practice strengthens understanding. Patience supports progress. Mental stimulation also affects attention. Dogs that feel mentally engaged respond more readily. Engagement encourages focus. Boredom can reduce responsiveness. Engaged dogs remain attentive. Learning activities help maintain interest. Dogs enjoy activities that challenge their minds. Training sessions provide mental stimulation. These activities strengthen communication. Physical exercise also influences attention. Balanced energy improves focus. Active dogs listen better. Excess energy may increase distraction. Exercise helps regulate behavior. Balanced activity improves responsiveness. Dogs also interpret fairness in communication. Consistent expectations help them understand boundaries. Fair signals encourage cooperation. When expectations change unpredictably, dogs hesitate. Hesitation protects them from making mistakes. Consistency builds confidence. Dogs prefer environments where signals remain clear. Clarity simplifies decision-making. Clear communication helps them succeed. The clearer the communication becomes, the easier obedience feels. Dogs respond to understandable patterns. Predictability improves cooperation. Observation remains central to canine behavior. Dogs constantly evaluate signals. Evaluation guides their actions. What appears like sudden disobedience may reflect confusion. Confusion slows decision-making. Clear signals restore confidence. Understanding this perspective helps owners adjust communication. Clearer signals encourage cooperation. Dogs respond to clarity. Dogs rarely stop listening intentionally. Most behavioral shifts reflect interpretation. Their responses depend on understanding. When communication becomes stable again, dogs respond quickly. Stability restores confidence. Confidence improves obedience. Dogs naturally want to succeed in their social environment. Success strengthens relationships. Cooperation becomes easier. Through consistent interaction, dogs learn what each signal means. Meaning creates reliability. Reliability strengthens trust. Trust builds strong communication between dog and owner. Strong communication supports obedience. Dogs thrive with clear signals. In dog psychology, obedience grows from clarity and stability. Dogs respond best when both exist. Consistency supports learning. A dog that temporarily stops listening is often still learning. Learning continues throughout life. Patience encourages progress. With understanding and consistency, most dogs regain responsiveness. Clear communication restores cooperation. Strong relationships support obedience.